So get your pen, get your journal, and get ready because we're about to dig for some gold. My name's David A. Stone. I'm an authorpreneur, a gold mining expert, urban farmer, and now I'm a #1 best-selling author of Your Gold Mine, Brain Digging Gold Guide. This is such an exciting accomplishment for me, but I gotta say, I couldn't have done it without all of you supporting me. So thank you for helping me make this book, Your Gold Mine, Brain Digging Gold Guide, a #1 bestseller. When I was a kid, we had to haul our water. We didn't have water piped to our house. We had a 2,000-gallon tank underground. We had a 500-gallon tank. We hauled behind our 1989 Ford Aerostar van that was a stick shift. And I learned how to drive when I was 14 years old. It was awesome. I loved it. But I actually learned how to drive because I had to haul the water. It was work. I had to take the van with the tank to the well, fill it up, take it back home, dump it into the 2,000-gallon tank. It took me 4 trips, fill it all up. And there was actually a decent amount of people using water. We had 5 kids, 2 adults, we had some livestock, and then we had a garden. And we would take what's called spit baths. I don't know if you guys know what that is. Some of you probably do, some of you probably don't. And it doesn't mean that we spit in our bath or we spit a whole bunch to make enough bath water to take a bath of spit. No, it doesn't mean any of that. In fact, what it really means is just fill up a bucket of water and then get yourself wet and then grab the bar of soap, lather up, put it in the water, lather up with this bar of soap on your wet body. Now you're all lathered. And then you take a sponge and then you start splashing all this water and washing off all the soap. And then once it's done, you do one final rinse and boom, you're good to go. It's definitely conservation of water. I really do appreciate a nice hot shower nowadays. However, that's what we did when we were kids. It was a lot of water conservation, but it's because we were hauling our water. It wasn't just piped to our house. Necessity will make you more conservating, something like that. So out in Maricopa, I went to a middle school and it was Maricopa Middle School. And I think there was probably like 36 people, maybe 40 people in my class. And the middle school had like 3 grades in it, 6th, 7th, and 8th grades. And we would do all these, candy drives or cookie drives or whatever to raise money for some school affairs or events or whatever we were raising money for at the time. But they would give us these little forms with all these candy boxes. You could buy some candy. You could buy like a chocolate bar for like $18. I don't know. Anyways, you'd buy all this candy, super expensive candy for this fundraiser at school. Then you'd take the form and all the money back and you'd give it to your teacher and they would tally it all up and they would give you some points. And then they would give you a little brochure, say, here's how many points you have. Here's what you can redeem your points for. And they're like bouncy balls and yo-yos and like ridiculous things that kids are like, I don't want any of this stuff. I mean, you need like 1,000,000 points to get a bike. And I mean, I didn't make 1,000,000 points, but no, you don't need 1,000,000 points. But anyways, I needed way more points than I had to get a bike. And all the points that I had, I could only get this little thing because I had such a small number of people to sell to. But I was outselling every other kid in school. But I was frustrated because I'm like, look, I don't want points. I mean, give me some commission or something, give me a percentage of what I'm selling. So what I ended up doing, there's this convenience store in Maricopa called Maricopa Mercantile, and it's this little teeny convenience store. Anyways, I went in there one day and I found my gold mine as a 13-year-old kid. I found these 4-packs of Bubblicious. They're mixed flavor 4-packs. And Bubblicious, they're really good. Now, the cool thing about Bubblicious was I wasn't really a Bubblicious kid. I was more of like a bubble tape kid. So I wasn't about to like chew up all my inventory. But what I did was I had like $4 or $5 on me and I bought 4 or 5 of those 4-packs. So I think I had like 20 packs of Bubblicious on me. And I went back to school the next day, sold out, double my money. Basically, I would go back to the store, buy as much money as I had worth of gum, go back to school the next day, sell out. Pretty much I would be selling out every day. Sometimes it would take me 2 days to sell out as I started growing because I would be buying so much gum. But I literally bought this little convenience store out of like all their cases of gum that they had. Once I bought them out, I was looking for another supplier. So I finally found this other place in Maricopa that had some more Bubblicious and I went and bought it. But right when I found my other supplier was right when I got shut down. I mean, I was pulling in on a good day like $20 a day. I mean, I'm in middle school here. It was epic. I was having a great time. Everybody knew me as the gum guy. This run lasted like 3 weeks. And then I got shut down by the principal. He takes my backpack and he dumps it on his desk, and it's like this pile of Bubblicious. He's like, you can't do this. He called my mom, told her what I was doing. She came down to the school and she's like, are you seriously telling my son that he cannot be an entrepreneur? And so she totally kind of like rips into him a little bit. He's like, look, I don't know what he said, but anyways, it was probably all valid from a school perspective, but my mom couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. It was okay. She encouraged me to do it. She wants me to be an entrepreneur. So anyways, long story short, I got shut down by the principal, but my mom has my back. So thank you, Mom. You're awesome. I love you. And that's not the point of the story, though. The point of the story is I've always had two traits that have carried me far. And the two traits that have carried me far are self-initiative and goal setting, personal goal setting. I've always been able to apply my goals to real life. But I've always been able to really want something. I've always wanted something more than I had. And that is a good place to be in order to set some goals. And sometimes it's even easy to set monetary goals because monetary goals gives you a specific framework to be able to actually achieve, to be able to tell if you're on the right track of achieving that goal too, because there's waypoint markers when you have a monetary goal. Just make sure that the monetary goal is not just for the money. Make sure that monetary goal is lining up towards something that you really want, a purpose that you really want, a destination that you really want in your life.